So the best part is I just got an email from one of my students. It's the beginning of the semester, and they all think I'm a doctor. Apparently, I'm not.
Is it because you have really bad handwriting?
That is actually super accurate. My handwriting is atrocious. Yeah, they are under the impression apparently that I am a doctor because they keep referring to me as Dr. Shaw, despite the fact that everything says chef on it. It's fine, whatever.
I mean, chefs can be doctors.
So what you're telling us is your kids are dumb.
Good evening, Dr. Shaw. I am taking your class this semester and noticed on the syllabus there are clothing requirements for the lab. Do we have to have them for tomorrow's lab? Is there going to be stuff tomorrow in lab for? Are we going to go over this stuff tomorrow in lab for the rest of the semester? Trying to plan my day tomorrow, so I'll have to get to the store before then. I have gotten 6 emails. You want to know how I know that they don't read any of my announcements that we use to send out announcements about things?
You tell them what is and isn't going to be on the test or in the lab.
I literally wrote out a message today and sent an announcement out and emailed it to them specifically that says, do not need your uniforms for the first day of lab. I'm working with a bunch of dietetics majors and they're all really smart, but they're stupid.
Yeah, you did say they were dietetics majors. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and squirrels, welcome to one of many podcasts on planet Goddang Earth where we review anything and everything that's on stupid list of Joey's arbitrary list of stupid
literally
things.
only 2 podcasts, though.
I would say, is there more than one podcast doing that?
Your other podcast, Walk Through the Multiverse.
But that's
you have a list for that too. It's still on Goddang Earth.
I don't really have a list for that one as much as I do plan stuff.
What'd you do? Scalp the list off of ours?
To be fair, I just learned about self-plagiarism in my grads class, and technically you are self-plagiarizing because you're not citing this show when you review other shows. Just so you're aware.
But actually no, because whenever I review DC movies on the Patreon for DC Alliance, I'm always talking about how over on my other podcast, Comic Rundown, I watched this X movie, it's whatever. So
yeah, and do they like that? Do they like that you keep promoting
Patreon? They're paying for it, so
wow. All right. Anyway, I of course am the guy who just did this introduction. I am a tits covered peck this week. I'm Chuck, and I am joined by the CEO, editor-in-chief, supreme ruler, and reptilian overlord of the Comic Book Rundown, Joey. I stepped in poop today, so I don't got anything for you, Janero. And of course,
that was all the shit he could handle for the day.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I tracked it through the majority of the house I was in too, because I didn't realize I had stepped in a very small pile of it. There was a bigger pile I cleaned up, and then I missed the smaller pile.
What kind of dog are you dog sitting?
2 little fucking yappy dogs.
Oh, you're supposed to tie them together and throw them over a fence.
I know.
I mean,
I
got a couple of those down the road. Anytime we walk our dog Gary, they are just won't shut up, and it's annoying as fuck. And then the lady who owns the dogs
scowls at you every time you walk by.
Kind of, sorta. Like, she's not. I'm not saying she's a Karen, but she definitely isn't.
So what you have to do is you have to establish your right to walk through there by shitting on her front porch.
I mean, no, I'm good.
Well, not when you're walking Gary. You don't want to set a bad example for him. You do it later on.
Oh, well. I don't care that much.
Fine. What's the address? I'll shit on her porch. Actually, you know what? I will give somebody a month subscription free to our Patreon. I'll talk to Tim. It's fine. If they go and shit on this person's porch.
Wow.
He said it on the show. It is canon.
That's on the show. You gotta take a picture because I gotta verify it's the right porch. If you do it on the wrong porch, you owe us a month subscription. Anywho, so today we watched Willow finally, happy birthday to Ronald. This is coming out
Yes.
the day before his birthday.
Nice.
So I'm pretty sure of this. Yeah.
Here, let's find
Willow.
out how well Joey knows when my birthday is.
I mean,
I don't even know what day my birthday is on this year, so
nope, sorry, day after your birthday.
it'll be the day. Oh, hey, look at that. October 13th. What do you know?
Look at that.
Nice.
So Willow, this came out in 1988, and
It's one of
it's
my
fine.
favorite movies of all
It
time.
is one of your favorite movies.
To this day, like it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
What about it is like one of your favorite movies of all time? I'm super, super curious of what
I
it is.
love the music.
Okay, I'll give you music. Okay,
I
that's
love the
actually super
fact
fair.
that the main protagonist is a halfling that has no
At all.
martial skills, barely any magical skills, and he is literally just doing this off the seat of his pants.
So you
Willow
resonate
is
with
one
the
of
character?
what's that?
So you resonate with the character? is what you're saying.
100%.
Okay, great.
That's how I've lived my life, is on fucking just barely making it through, pulling tricks on evil witches. Oh,
Okay.
also, this is probably an early start to my redhead fetish,
That
because
tracks.
Sorsha.
I gotta be honest. I kind of figured that was half of it. I didn't like anybody's face in this movie. Everybody's face, like I found nothing attractive about anybody's face this entire movie. Not
Obviously, you didn't take a good enough look at Frangine and Rule, the two little brunies.
yeah, we'll get to that.
Brownies.
I
Yeah,
don't
how it's
I
pronounced.
thought they were called brownies.
They are
Which
called
seems-
brownies, which
Which
is
seems
an incorrect
super
test.
questionable. Like there was a little
The whole movie is questionable if you think about it.
yeah. I mean, they from what I could figure, peck was a derogatory term for
Oh yeah, no. In my
this
notes,
race
it
of
definitely says
people.
that Mad Mardigan is a racist, and
Yeah,
so
I
are
didn't
most of
understand
the.
anything. I loved how
Literally
I
everybody.
loved how the big people hated the medium-sized people, and the medium-sized people hated the very tiny people,
And then everybody hated trolls.
and everybody
Yeah.
hated trolls.
Yeah. Which I didn't know trolls could turn into hydras. That's
That was
weird.
because you saw how bad he is at magic.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
true.
That was and I mean it was like a gremlin when you add water to him or whatever.
Yeah. This speaking of Sorsha, I in my IMDb findings, apparently the actress and Val Kilmer were married for like 20 years. They
No
met
shit.
on this movie and were married shortly thereafter.
Nice.
So
Which is probably why Val Kilmer wasn't in.
great jumping on point for me in the disconnect of this movie. I don't know how I want to talk about this
Okay.
because I love Ron. I like this is Ron's favorite movie of all time, apparently, and I love Ron. Ron is one of the important people in my life. I would never want to give up his friendship in any way or hurt his feelings in any conceivable notion. However, I'm about to shit on this movie for about an hour, and I don't know what it. I need Ron to convince me
All right,
by the
before we
end
get-
of this show
Yeah.
that this was
Look, this
This
is the
is the
greatest
first
movie in the world, and I'll punch Dan in the face about it.
there you go.
oh fuck okay
Um,
that just scored at least 2 points. Okay.
So this is Chuck. This is your first time watching this movie.
Yeah, I've never seen this movie. I
Same for
think we
me.
talked about it in previous episodes, but
I think
the
it's the last
only
one.
the only time the only reason why I knew this movie existed was because my accounting teacher, this was her favorite movie. And I think she named her kid after Val Kilmer's character.
Mad Mardigan.
I think his name was Mardigan.
Hmm.
Which I also bothered by the fact that everybody only has one name. According to
Why?
the subtitles, everybody like Mad Mardigan is one name.
Yeah.
It should be Mad Mardigan.
No, he's not
He
mad.
wasn't crazy though. That's the thing. He was just a bad thief.
Mad Mardigan is his name. Like it's his, like how your
No,
name
no,
is
first
Charles
name
instead
Mad,
of Char
last
or
name
Laurels.
Mardigan.
That
That's
would
what it
make
should have
sense.
been. First
Like
name
Mad-
Mad,
like
last
Mad
name
Nichols.
Mardigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, why does he have not either a first name or nor last name?
Willow's got a last name.
Yeah, but Mad
Mm.
Markin doesn't. That's what
But
he's
yeah,
getting.
Mad Mardigan is one name. He didn't want to give his last name because he was in trouble with the law, guys. Come on.
He didn't give his last name. Eric
Exactly.
did. Eric gave him his name, like told his name. So
He didn't
which
give
we
his
never
name at
got.
all. Exactly. See?
We never got a last name for Eric either. Although it doesn't matter, he died.
Eric.
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 Yeah, but he was a really bad general.
A little bit.
He had a
That's
lot of
also
good men killed.
Which
Apparently,
we saw him before. He showed up. He was Brad in Superman 3.
Yep.
One that was hitting on Lana all the time.
He's also in Ghostbusters.
No, it's not the same
No,
guy.
it's a different guy. Never mind.
Yeah.
They're brothers, though. It's canon. I said it on the
honestly,
show.
It might be. They look alike. But
So
no, there was a lot of great actors in this movie.
a lot of young great actors, and then a bunch of actors I've never even heard of. Which is my first great jumping on point of why this movie annoyed me. I couldn't make that look like Val Kilmer no matter how hard I tried. I kept looking at him. He's in the cage, right? And I go, oh wow, what's with this dollar store Val Kilmer? And then I'm like trying to figure out who it is without because I was watching
on my
phone,
why?
so I couldn't look I couldn't Google anything.
Yeah.
The reason why you were having a problem with that being Val Kilmer is because he had all that hair.
I think that's what and dark. I feel like because the only thing that I really remember Val Kilmer from is Batman Forever. Because that was my first exposure.
Pasty white dude with a rich person haircut.
And like blonde. He's like kind of dirty blonde in that. So no matter how hard I tried, I could not make this look like Val Kilmer. So that was my first disconnect because I was like, wow, they couldn't even hire Val Kilmer. They got some knockoff dude. Which really, really bugged me then.
I was talking about this is Val Kilmer's greatest role outside of the Saint.
Saint's pretty good.
I don't think I've seen enough Val Kilmer stuff to
He's only in 4 movies, dude. He's in this, The Saint, Top Gun, and Batman.
He was in he was Doc Hollywood in Tombstone.
Oh fuck, 5 movies. I forgot about Doc Hollywood and Tombstone.
I've never seen Tombstone. Everybody brings up Tombstone, and I feel like I would love it. I've never.
You could be my Chuckleberry.
I'm sure. I mean, I know he's done other things, but
nope. Those are the only 5 movies that matter that he's been in.
Okay.
Wasn't he in like a rom-com of some sort in the early mid-90s?
What did I just say?
Hey, listen. If it's a good story, I love a good rom-com. Bridesmaids, fantastic, great love story.
I don't think he was in Bridesmaids.
No, but I just.
No, he's saying.
That's a good example.
Oh yeah, no, that was.
Although
a good one.
Val Kilmer, did Val Kilmer die? He's dead, right?
No, he's still alive.
No, he's just really fat.
Yeah, he got a little.
Who
He
do
got
I
big.
confuse him with?
Good question. Who did you confuse him with?
Richard Gere.
Richard
I
Gere
could
died?
Gere's still alive.
What?
I thought he died because he had a gerbil in his ass or something.
No,
Richard Gere's not alive still.
I'm gonna have to grill Chuck
do-
on this one. I'm pretty sure Richard Gere's dead.
hold on.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he was
Gere.
always dead. He never had a single emotion on his face in anything he was ever
Val
in.
Kilmer was he was Jim Morrison in The Doors.
Yeah, like I said, there's only 5 movies that he's ever been in that were important.
Oh, apparently he's still alive.
He was in MacGruber too. Come on, that's a great movie.
I've never seen MacGruber.
That's so dumb. Great.
It's like a mentally handicapped MacGyver, right?
Yeah, it's one of SNL's things. Made movies. So
apparently
Val Kilmer.
No, I'm sorry. Richard Gere is married to Angela Silva.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, oh, she's smoking hot though. Holy smokes, good for her. Good for him. Copy. Hold on, I'll show you. Let me send a link here. Yeah, anyway, could not make that look like Val Kilmer. Bugged me. I didn't like any face in this movie. I'm a face guy, so I wasn't into the faces. I had hoped going into this that it was going to be like my experience with Princess Bride.
Yeah, because you didn't see that when you were younger, right? You saw
right.
That
I never saw that. I think if I had seen this when I was younger, I would have loved this movie.
I felt the same way.
I can definitely I think of like this. I think like Raiders of the Lost Ark I saw when I was really young,
Mhm.
so I really loved it. I don't think I would like Raiders of the Lost Ark if I had seen it when I was older. Like it would have felt really weird and dated to me. I know that's like a
Yes.
weird concept, but like I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much.
Well, and a
I
lot of
wish I
this-
had seen this when I was younger because this would have won me over.
correct.
Because this is like the
100%.
closest thing to Dungeons and Dragons
So-
movie I would have gotten as a kid.
When I was 6 years old was the first time I saw this.
See,
Somewhere around
I think
6
that's
years
why
old.
I think that's why it
And-
clicks for you.
Oh no, that 100% it has the nostalgia. But I saw it at a friend's house and I didn't know what it was called. So jump forward like 10 years and it was on HBO or something, like you know how they used to like repeat it over the HBO channels.
Yeah.
Well, my mom's boyfriend at the time was like fairly rich, so he had like 5 HBO channels. So I remember one weekend I watched it like on HBO 1, HBO 2, HBO whatever. Like I watched it like in a row, and I burnt it into my memory, and I still quote this movie all the fucking time.
There were some good quotes in this movie. I'll give it that.
There are
I
some
few of them down.
memorable quotes, and there's some quotes that I think you have said to me and that other people have said to me that I now realize were Willow quotes. So that makes a lot more sense.
Okay, to put it in perspective, I have watched this movie in the past year. I have watched it at least 7 times.
Now, is that just turning it on, or is that actually sitting down and paying attention?
I watched it once with Sam. I watched it once with Kaylin. I watched it once with Charity. I watched it once with Shayla. I watched it once with Taylor. And then I watched it twice by myself.
Okay.
Now, the 2 times I watched it by myself, I take it back, 8 times, because then I watched it for the show. Yeah. But the 2 times I watched it myself, I was working on paintings and stuff. So I mean, I was still watching and listening to it. Like I still knew everything that was going on, but that's just because I know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I've loved this movie because it's got, I mean, okay, you've got your typical rogue fighter, which is my favorite kind of, D&D class.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what Val Kilmer would be.
100%.
Although he's more fighter than rogue because, he's kind of dumb.
I mean, he multi-class.
Yeah, exactly. You've got your wizard halfling that like knows nothing about magic, right? Then you got your comic relief and the 2 brownies who are idiots.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got a hot redhead. And I love the movie. I love the music, but I really liked just a bunch of like the stupid little like pig dogs that they had. They were like their warhounds or whatever.
Those were Rottweilers with prosthetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Thought those were boars, and I got really hyped for it because I was like, "Oh, sweet! They're using boars as like bad thing. This is rad." And then when the more I looked at it, the sadder I got because I realized they weren't boars anymore, and like that really bummed me out. But up to that point, I was like, "Oh hell yeah, freaking boars! Hell yeah, let's go!"
Also, the halflings in this movie were actually played by little people instead of full-sized people pretending. Well, except for Elijah Woods, because that is actually how tall he is.
Fair.
Shout out to Elijah Wood, just like taking the weirdest roles right now.
Doing the movies you want. Warwick
No,
Davis,
not as much as Daniel Radcliffe, though.
Daniel Radcliffe is definitely doing the roles he wants.
Yeah.
Warwick Davis said that there was around somewhere between 225 to 240 little people for this movie,
which is fantastic because they actually used little people to play little people.
Correct.
Which is actually like a thing like coming up right now because they're doing the Willy Wonka like
the
prequel, I guess it's supposed to be
the Wonka prequel with Timothée Chalamet, and
they're using Hugh Grant
as
why? First off, I'm not a big fan of Hugh Grant. Like in general, I'm just not a big.
I don't
fan
think
of Hugh
he
Grant.
brings anything to that particular.
No,
character.
he doesn't. He's like, oh look, I've got a posh fake British accent, and I was in movies.
That he won't be a big role in the movie. He'll probably have like you see him in the trailer where he gets caught, and he may have like another scene somewhere. But at the movie, he's gonna be about Wonka.
He's gonna be the Oompa Loompa, like that one dude was the Oompa Loompa for the creepy Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I feel like nobody gave because he wasn't a little person, right?
No, he wasn't. He was just very
No.
short.
Right. I feel like I don't remember any discourse during that time. I just want to say, I'm as per usual, I'm going to derail this show. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who played apparently Ramona Flowers, which I did not realize. She's in like a lot of things that I really, really like. I just realized
She's in Ahsoka right now.
Is in
That's fair.
Ahsoka, and she looks like
I
my
wouldn't
ex,
mind being in
so that
Ahsoka.
explains why I was so attracted to her. Anyway, continue.
She's also here. Get this. She's married to Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Holy shit, that's a big age gap.
And not as much as you think, because she's like in her mid to late 30s.
Yeah,
No, she's not my age.
Yeah,
she is.
Is she really?
Yeah, she was born in 1984.
Yeah, so
she's my age.
She's 39.
No fucking way.
Yeah, she's a fucking smoke show.
Their kid was in Obi-Wan as well. I don't know if you guys saw Obi-Wan, but
I did.
Daughter.
Yeah.
Was Leia?
No.
It
was their daughter was there's a character who comes up to Obi-Wan when he's on the one they're on the other planet.
She's a month and 16 days younger than me. That's awesome.
Asking about if he wants, I don't know, something. So a little creepy. But those two are, I'm not gonna say a power couple.
Fuck, dude, Ewan McGregor's 52 years old.
Oh, he's only 52. I thought he was in his late 40s.
It gives you hope.
14-year-old difference.
It gives Ron hope that
dude,
when he's 52, he could be banging.
High ground on this motherfucker. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, we'll see Mary Elizabeth Winstead in some future films. Scott Pilgrim, Birds of Prey. I know there's Sky High.
Oh, dude, and I've got 4 inches on this motherfucker. He's gonna get wrecked.
I was looking up some Warwick Davis
standing
stuff.
On the ground.
I was looking at some Warwick Davis stuff, trying to figure out what else he had been in, and somehow I ended up on
somehow
Elizabeth.
I would end up on her too, but that's a different.
No, he's the Leprechaun. That's where I know him from.
Fuck, he's the Leprechaun.
Well, it's been driving me nuts because I know he's been in other stuff.
If we're talking about some of the little people actors, you've got Tony Cox, who was one of the guards.
The guy who plays Daredevil?
No, Tony Cox, not Charlie Cox.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're thinking of a different Cox.
Yeah.
I am. I just got Cox on the brain, guys. I apologize.
And let's see. He was in a lot of the spoof movies. That's where I know him a lot from. Who else was there? There was another one. Obviously, Warwick. Billy Barty. He was the High Aldwin.
Yeah, he was in He-Man. I told you guys that when we watched He-Man.
He was in He-Man. But I recognized him from a movie called Radioland Murders, where he plays himself, but he is like, there's a whole like song and dance, and he's on the stage. It's kind of it's the whole thing. Radioland Murders is a really good movie. I just want to put that out there.
I've never heard of it.
Phil Fonderco. I don't know how you say his last name. Who was another Wagner, who was the main guard.
Yeah,
I recognize him from Sabrina Teenage Witch, the show.
Yep.
He was Roland in there. And then there was one more. Maybe there wasn't. Maybe it was just those 3. Yeah, but
the guy who doesn't like Willow and then ends up having to go on the quest with him in the beginning.
Yeah.
Umbach or Oop or Luke.
Burglecut.
Yeah, that's what it is. He looked really familiar too.
He's the guy that gets shit on by a bird, and that's all that matters because he's an absolute
Hardwire, Mac the Knife. I don't know what that was.
No, I don't know. It's like his face looked super familiar.
He's only had 5 roles.
No, he had way more roles than that just on his chin.
Anyway,
there it is.
A Kind of Rush, Hardwire, The Paradise Club, Mac the Knife, and Willow. So he wasn't in a lot of things.
I mean, Warwick Davis actually has been in a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Which is weird because I've literally seen all of these movies that they say he's in.
And that's how good an actor he is. You didn't even recognize
and yet
him
I don't remember him in any of these movies.
He was what in Harry Potter? He was one of the goblins in Gringotts, I believe.
Phyllis
Flitwick.
Or
no, yeah. And then he was also
He's in Ray right now.
Obviously, he was in Ray.
Oh, some movie called Ray.
Okay.
Made
The Leprechaun movies,
$75.3 million.
obviously.
Obviously Star Wars, Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
The Willow.
He was also in the
TV show.
Hold up.
What's up?
Leprechaun 4 in space?
Yeah.
1996?
Yeah, that thing got made. I remember hearing about that. I haven't seen it. I've only seen one Leprechaun movie.
Is that Leprechaun in the Hood?
No. That was
the
the
first
third one, right?
Leprechaun.
I think I've seen the second Leprechaun. I don't think I ever actually saw the first one.
Oh, that's a shame because the first one actually is really good and a very young Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
He's in Star Tours.
She was still a smoke show back then.
He's in Ewoks. Oh wow. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to derail this entire fucking show as per usual, but look, my takeaway is I feel like I would have really, really liked this if it was The Princess Bride, but it wasn't The Princess Bride.
But honestly, though, this wasn't a bad movie. Like it still was.
You know,
solid,
that's what I.
But
you know what
there
happened?
are some problems.
Ron hyped it up too much for me.
I kind of think so too.
Yeah, I got too hyped for this. I was like, because in my brain I was like, oh, this is going to be like The Princess Bride. I'm going to be pleasantly surprised by how good this movie is. And then it was a little slow. It felt weird. Like it felt like it was taking too long to get to the point. Because this movie is 2 hours and 4 minutes long.
Is it really that long? I've never even noticed that.
Yeah, I actually, when I first looked at it, I thought it said 86 minutes. I'm like, oh, hour and a half. That's great. And then I hit play and it was like 2 hours. And I'm like, oh, fuck, what the hell?
Which, like, for an 80s movie, that's really long. Like, that hour and a half is, like, kind of that sweet spot that they like to stay into. Yeah, and they, like, and the sad thing is I think this movie is, like, a half hour too long. Like, there's some stuff that they could have cut out of it that would have made it a lot better.
Like what? What could they have cut out of it?
Anything to deal with the brownies, because I didn't give a shit about them.
That was really bad comic relief that made no sense.
They were important. They would have never gotten out of the cage without the brownies.
They could have figured something else out.
They would have never found fuck, now I can't think of her name.
Yeah, but okay, fine. I'll give you the brownies are important to it. You could have cut their lines by half and saved yourself 15 minutes worth of movie. There was a lot of like unnecessary scenes with them for the sake of like trying to get a joke across.
That's not true because they had to have the scene with the cat because then you find out what the Dust of Broken Hearts does.
Sure.
Great. Keep that scene.
Else?
Everything else. Get rid of everything else.
Keep when they capture Willow and Megog, sure.
Yeah, well, and then
watching them bicker
you have
with
to
each
know
other.
that they were following.
I didn't need 12 minutes of them bickering with each other.
Well,
this way, but you're drunk. That way, like.
When you're drunk, you forget that I am the leader, which is one of my favorite fucking things to say to people when they're drunk. And I say this is going
to turn into Ron having to defend this movie the entire time. Now we all know how Joey feels.
Yay! But
no, honestly, I'm not getting upset about it.
I never.
And I'm not going to cry when we get offline here.
That's besides the point. But honestly though, this wasn't a bad movie. Like there were just some parts.
It's a mediocre movie that was fun.
Okay, go with that.
I will give you that I did not need Sherlindria's head this fucking big on the screen for no reason. Especially when she was like normal size and she could have just talked to us in normal size. But also, like, that was a big thing to do in the 80s, apparently, back then. Was like, what if we just superimpose somebody's head across the whole background of something?
Well, and this is the early days of ILM, too. Well, maybe not the early days. It's probably maybe 10 years into it. Industrial Light and Magic. So a lot of the special effects were revolutionary for the time. And I got a lot of Return of the Jedi vibes from some of the special effects and some of the scenes.
Now, you have to admit, when they switch between animals, when he's trying to turn her back into a human, that is some fucking fire fucking special effects right there.
But you know where some bad special effects? Anything with the brownies. Because that was like cut and paste, and it was bad.
Yeah, I mean, you could see the black outlines, just like in like Return of the Jedi when they're
When the walkers
or no,
are
Empire Strikes Back when they are on Hoth, or is that Return of the Jedi? Fuck, I don't know.
no, it's Return of the Jedi when the
So,
chicken walkers are walking in the woods.
yeah,
Yeah.
This was a Ron Howard film?
yeah,
Yeah.
this is the best Ron Howard
It's
film.
George Lucas produced. This was a
I
Lucas
knew
film.
that it was George Lucas produced. Wow, Val Kilmer's not looking good anymore. Ron, you might actually have a shot here, buddy. I,
I don't think
Oh, no,
they're still
they're
married,
divorced.
are they?
They got divorced
Yeah.
just before he became Batman.
Yeah, I mean, she was still looking pretty hot in the Willow TV show.
Oh, so she wasn't in the Willow TV show.
Yeah, she was actually in her role again.
Okay.
She returned. Obviously, Warwick Davis returned. Frangine, one of the brownies, returned for it.
Yeah, because Kevin Pollak is a big name now, so he's
Yeah, I mean that dude's fucking hilarious too. Like, have you ever seen the whole 9 yards and the whole 10 yards?
yeah, they're all right.
He's in.
Nine
I
Yards
don't
is
like I don't like Matthew Perry personally, but that's just me.
But
Oh,
dude,
too much
he
Friends.
plays a straight man in that movie where everybody else is playing like comedic, which
Yeah,
and
that's why it doesn't work for me.
okay.
in the whole 9 yards, you also get to see Amanda Pete's tits, which are fantastic. So I mean,
Yes.
Oh, I do know Phil Fondacaro.
Thank you. That's how you say his name.
Yeah, he's in Ghoulies.
Okay.
Ghoulies 2. Oh, and he's in Bordello of Blood. That's where I know him from. Oh, what a good movie. Are we watching Bordello of Blood?
That's Tales from the Crypt, right?
Yeah, Tales and Tales from the Crypt comic book.
It is. So maybe.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'll put it on the list.
we've covered some Tales of the Crypt already.
Yeah, we watched the first one. The original OG.
That movie specifically stands out to me because it was one of the only few Tales of the Crypt that for some reason got played on Comedy Central.
Really?
Yeah, it got played on Comedy Central at like 2 p.m. I used to watch it all summer. It just got played all the time.
Okay.
And then I saw the unedited version of it, and it was way better when I was finally able to find it.
Obviously, yeah. Usually is.
So some problems I do have with the movie, though, if you really need some
Actually,
help
I'm
with
very curious. Yes.
Okay.
Tell me.
So when they get to Tiras Leen, where there's supposed to be this army that's going to be able to defeat Bavmorda's army, and they've got the frozen people, right? There's like 12 frozen people there. Like that's it. And
well, that's because everybody else ran away, and because all of the weapons
even in the armory, even in the armory, there were enough weapons for like 20 people tops.
Yeah, you just saw the one wall.
Also, I can't believe that Mad Mardigan put on a suit of armor that was full of spiders crawling around inside there. You can see the cobwebs hanging off of it even while he was wearing it. And but I do love when he shoots himself out of the catapult and then hits the wall. That's fantastic.
That's very fun. I chuckled when the troll got changed into the Hydra and started coming out of the water. And then when he turns around and sees, he runs basically into the
but
army.
Before that, he thinks that they're running away from him because he's spinning a sword,
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm a badass. And he's like, wait.
Oh, shit. But it was just funny because they're all he's standing there with the army and he looks at the one guy and then they look at him and he's like, oh, shit.
I also love how he rolls down the hill inside of the snowball.
So I did enjoy that because that is a realistic snowball.
100%, especially when it hits the wall.
Yeah.
But what I really hate about that scene is when Willow is on the front of the sled or on the shield, and it's just a little dummy, and he's like.
I wanted to mark that down as our dummy mannequin count, but I forget where it counts at. So.
Fuck, I don't know either.
Yeah,
I didn't keep a good track of that.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear you on the snowball thing. Hilarious. Very funny.
Chuck gets a big kick out of snowballs.
It's true. A joke I was not expecting to see in this movie was rolling a snowball. Okay. I think the problem with all of those other things that you thought were very funny was I didn't see them when I was a kid for that to be the first time I saw that joke.
That's fair.
All of these jokes were like jokes I've already seen because everybody else has parodied this movie to the point where these jokes were ruined for me. And that's where the disconnect is, where I kind of sat there. I'm just like,
So,
okay, I
but
get
there's
it.
also an important scene that I definitely remember from my childhood and from growing up and from being an adult. When he is spouting lines of poetry to Sorsha in the tent, and she's not wearing a bra.
Fair.
You're fair.
Oh, they were more than fair. But anyway,
Fair enough that they married each other. So yeah.
I mean, yeah. If I'd have had a shot back in 1988, I'd have been 4. But
So
I mean,
is that yeah? So does that broken heart dust? I mean, it's
it
Cupid's arrow,
only
right?
works for people that you actually have emotions for, which is why
Well, does
Francine
it?
fell for the cat.
So he has emotions for the cat.
He has got the bestiality thing. Where do you think he got the rat hat from?
Oh. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I thought he wanted to fuck the cat. I figured that
Yeah.
out about 5
Yeah.
seconds. Yeah,
But
I assume that's why. I assume that's why he was dressed like a mouse, was so the cat would be attracted to him.
See?
but my thing was, so you're saying somebody had attraction for, because I thought it was the like normal Cupid's arrow thing where first person you see is who you get attracted
Well, then he would have fallen in love with Willow.
Exactly. So
I think it has to be somebody you're attracted to.
Okay. Although when he got hit, he definitely got like happy and was like, "Oh,
that's
yeah,
the
I'll help you, Willow."
endorphins, like.
Okay. Alrighty. Was the Queen Mumra?
Okay, dude, I have that in my notes also.
Okay.
Bath Mumra.
Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I think that might have just been like an 80s way that villains dressed. It was like, well, what if we made him look like a sorcerer mummy? Wouldn't that be like even scarier than just like one or the other?
Yeah, I think
There was something else I watched that had somebody that was all wrapped up like that and then had like the robes over it, but I can't think of what it was.
I mean, I know in The Mummy, the Tom Cruise one, the mummy was like that. She had
There's a Tom Cruise mummy movie?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a reboot / building what they called the Dark Universe, which was gonna have like Frankenstein's monster.
Okay,
And
that's what I was gonna ask. So we're talking about like
werewolf.
horror film mummy, not Brendan Fraser mummy.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
But it was
except for they
basically-
try very hard to not make you think that.
Yeah,
Like they really are teasing the idea that it happens in like the Brendan Fraser mummy universe for some reason.
Yep.
Like that, like people are like, oh, it probably is, and they never tried to separate the two, which was stupid.
yeah. I haven't seen it.
I've never seen it either because it doesn't sound good.
I don't know if and I wanted to at the time just to see how it was, but never did, and I kind of glad I haven't. Although
I actually heard it wasn't terrible.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Although it's probably not as bad as like Catwoman. Catwoman is my worst of the worst, obviously.
Super fair.
Yeah. So, the ritual. So this movie starts out with this prophecy that the queen will be killed off by this baby, I guess. Why is
While
it?
the baby's alive, the queen can die. Can die is basically what it is.
Okay.
The baby will cause her downfall.
The funny thing is, anytime there's a prophecy that says something like that, and the person who the prophecy is about tries to stop it.
Oh, this is called a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, 100%.
That's literally that's why they have a phrase for it. It's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because you've got to remember that the people that hear these prophecies automatically think that they are just going to be supreme and that the only thing that's stopping them is this. It's just like when people say that, they go back and kill baby Hitler. But if they went back and killed baby Hitler, maybe we would have ended up with something worse than Hitler.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I never want to go back and change history because history gets us to this point. Now, maybe in the last 10 years, but you don't go back generations because that's just going to fuck everything up.
What if people have been going back repeatedly to constantly change time to the point where we are here, and this is the result of everybody continually going back and constantly rechanging?
Well, you got to remember, though, that those timelines are still existing without those people that went back, because as soon as they go back, it changes the timeline, in which case we've got different multiverses and timelines that are spewing off of the...
also don't
I'm
want
pretty
to-
sure that after 3 movies, I remember Doc Brown saying the future is not guaranteed and it can be whatever you want it to be. So
Which
Oh,
technically we could
yeah, but
watch.
that's the worst kind of time travel you could even bring up, because even the shit in their own universe there doesn't pan out the way it's,
yeah, it's almost like time travel is like kind of fucking impossible to figure out, and they need to
Except it's
stop
not.
doing it.
I time travel for like 4 hours every day. I go to sleep and it's night, and I wake, well, it's morning, and I wake up and it's later on in the morning.
That's my joke. I've used that before.
I know. See, I stole that joke from Joey back in the past.
Yep.
Time
there we go.
travel.
Wow.
He told me it back in the past, and that's why I used it. So, I was gonna say. Oh, so then we get to the ritual at the end of the movie when she finally gets the kid, and she's going to perform this ritual. She's like, "Let's start it up right now." This is after she turns everybody into pigs. But the ritual takes all night to just get everything ready.
So
Doesn't
actually,
make any
that's the way
fucking
a lot
sense.
of rituals
Hate
work.
the idea that she kept screaming during the entire scene. Let's get the ritual going. Let's get the ritual going. Let's get the ritual going. What the fuck?
She was
Most- I
really
mean-
excited.
Sure, but most rituals don't take 8 hours. I don't
That's
think.
actually not true. A lot of rituals take a lot longer than 8 hours.
Okay.
Some of them take 8 hours just to prep before you're ready to start the ritual preparation.
That's
Because you gotta get
true.
yourself in the right mindset and body and spirit and
And
Oh,
Mama
Yeah,
Rose.
I had an
But can we
excellent-
talk about the fucking old lady brawl and how much I want to see this in real life? Like, after they're casting magic, when they both go to grab the wand and they're just like beating the shit out of each other, like, I need that in real life. I want an old lady.
Okay, so
That-
What just happened? That was violent. Ron got too excited and broke his own system. Yikes.
yeah, it happens.
So you want an old lady fight is what you're saying.
An old lady fight club where, like, you got just a bunch of old ladies that are eventually going to brawl against each other in real life.
You are
Yikes.
roboting left and right. I love it.
Yeah, like super bad.
All right, hold on a minute.
All
So
right,
this
I'm gonna
might be a
finish
good
this email.
time
Hold
to say we might be on our YouTube page now.
Hey,
Maybe.
I need to get a
So,
background. Hell yeah.
possibly. I haven't
We
figured it
have
out
a
yet.
YouTube page?
I do have a YouTube thing set up. I just haven't put anything on it. I set it up like years ago. And now that I'm thinking about uploading these rundown reviews unedited up to the YouTube page because I can.
And then he'll take clips and he'll make shorts. And then from the shorts, we'll get
Nope.
transferred to TikTok. And then from TikTok, they'll go to Instagram Reels.
Look,
and
I
then we'll
was-
be famous.
I thought about putting this on YouTube 3 years ago and just now doing it. So
Listen, shorts are where it's at because they promote shorts more than they promote
Anymore,
anything. I don't know if you notice over
That's
at
true, dude. I
Professional
love
Casual.
shorts. Don't cover my calves.
just gotta kick him off right there.
Yeah, just take it. Just, you know what? Let's just have a conversation, Joey. Now that it's just
Ugh.
you and me, get rid of the stupid fucking guy who made me watch this stupid fucking movie.
It's not okay. Look, it's not bad. I did enjoy it.
It
But-
wasn't terrible.
I don't know.
It could have been a lot better. I
How
liked
you
the
sounded
dude.
there.
I liked the dude in the orc skull mask. I thought he was cool.
Who was
Kale.
also in Indiana Jones? We saw him. Yeah, we saw him somewhere else too.
Did we actually see his face in this
Yeah,
movie?
sometimes.
Oh, I
Yeah,
guess I
after
didn't
he
put the
gets
two
to-
together.
So he shows his face to Bavmorda. He pulls up like the skull, and then after the skull gets crushed, you kind of get to see his face.
Oh, okay. What was that?
So I did say we're gonna. Hey, why don't you just leave the room and then I'll bring you back in. Like leave the studio, and I'll bring you back in. That might fuck up my audio recording
Can I just
later.
click
But
on the same?
click on
Just
leave studio.
Leave studio.
There you go.
I'm gonna finish this email I'm doing. Okay. Okay.
But we can still talk. Or you just
Yeah,
type it
that's
up?
true. We could, I guess.
Yeah.
Listen, my students are driving me nuts already, and the semester hasn't even officially started yet. Much like how I feel about this movie.
And that starts. You start tomorrow.
I start tomorrow, but I have a bunch of overachievers that apparently are reading the syllabus and asking me questions already, which makes me want to just gouge my eyes out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's like we can deal with this tomorrow. Leave me alone, you dumb kids. Allegedly.
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 Alrighty. Now that you're back, anything else about this movie you want to talk about?
I do think the evil witch was
see.
kind of hot. The evil queen was kind of hot. I was kind of into it.
Yeah, I liked Thorsha better.
Yeah, everybody does. I think that's why I feel like she's like kind of B-string gymnastics. You know what I mean? Like same level of numberness, but something to prove. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
No, actually, I think we covered everything that I wanted to cover in there.
Okay.
Like
right.
my first note on here is that the music is fire. So like I fucking love the soundtrack to this. I actually
I'll give you the score was legit, like actually really good.
Yeah, I have on one of my Spotify playlists, I just have like basically the whole Willow overture, and it makes me happy every time it comes on because it's got a little bit of everything in it. So it's fantastic.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, I guess we can go. Chuck, do you have anything else
Kill count
before we go to our kill count?
Yeah.
No, I'll just do my wrap up scores.
Okay. So kill count, I counted 51, and majority of that was there in the last battle.
Yeah. I think that's my biggest thing about this movie. I wanted the battles to be more. It felt like it took so long to work up to the battle, and then there was like, other than the scene with the Hydra, there's like no climactic battle scene. It's a lot of watching the main characters run around while the battle is happening, and the focus is not on the battles.
The main battle is actually in Bavmorda's ritual chamber, where Willow and why can't I think of her fucking name? The Good Witch. Rizal. Finn Rizal. Yeah. Where they were trying to stop Bavmorda from completing the ritual, because Madmartigan and Sorsha are only backup characters. What happens to them, I mean, yes, it's important to the overall story, but the main battle is actually the one that happens inside the ritual chambers.
Great. It was a fucking snooze fest. I didn't care about it. I no longer gave a shit about the movie because they're like, the magic fight scene was not a good magic fight scene. Even for 88, it was two old ladies being bitches to each other. That's the equivalent of it. And I wasn't excited about it. I wanted to be more excited about it. You made me sit through 2 fucking hours of this movie to get to this epic climactic battle scene. Even from 88, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, it was great. You made shit work in Raiders of the Lost Ark. You made shit work in Star Wars. Why?
And those in the 70s and the early 80s, yeah.
Why? Why now do I get two old ladies just being a bunch of bitches to each other, and I got no cool magic fights? You can make a snowball scene funny and cute. You can make this like weird snot, like weird nose troll thing happen, and that was neat. But I get to end like, what is with the like? Because this is not the first time where I feel like I've been saying a movie from the 80s like, hey, we finally get to this climactic battle scene, and it's like a snooze fest. It was like that in Conan. It was like that in He-Man. It was like that in, oh my god, fucking Red Sonja. The whole movie was a snooze.
The whole movie was like that in Red Sonja, though.
I guess I am spoiled in 2023 lenses to go back in time and rewatch a lot of this, like these older movies, and expecting something more than what I get.
Especially if you hadn't seen the movie before. If you'd seen it when you were younger, it'd be a totally different matter.
I feel like I would be wrong if I saw this when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and I didn't get the same experience. Actually, that's a great point. Great point, Shaw. Thank you. The Princess Bride has a great fight scene. Multiple great fight scenes that were important to the story, that played out really, really well, and was a movie from its time, and it still held up. Why couldn't I get that in this movie? I just want Princess Bride with little people, apparently, is what I really wanted from this movie. It's not what I got. And so naturally I was disappointed.
I think didn't like the internet remake the Princess Bride scene by scene?
I don't know. I
And
watched
With
it
a
on
bunch
Disney
of famous
Plus.
actors, yeah,
Yeah. So
Probably.
go watch that. That might be fun.
it was okay.
Okay.
I
I
liked the
started
first one. I
watching it.
thought it was great. I really liked it.
I love The Princess Bride. It's
I
fantastic.
think
One
it's
of my favorite
fantastic.
movies. It's in my
It's
top 10.
funny in all the ways I want it to be funny. It's action. The sword fighting and choreography is great. The
Yeah.
sets were a little rough. You know what? I'll give them credit. The sets for this movie, fantastic.
They were good.
Very good. Better than Spider-Man. Because it didn't feel like it was a set a lot of the time. It felt
Okay.
like
I
it was
don't think a
shot
lot
at
of the time it
different
was a
locations.
set.
I think it was all
Right. A lot of
shot
it was
on
like shot on
actual,
location
yeah.
and stuff. And I only say that because for some reason on Freeform at like 7 to 9 every day, they show Spider-Man 1 at the gym. Like one of the channels
Why?
has Freeform and it's always Spider-Man when I'm there. So I've watched
Wha-
Spider-Man now like 18 times over the course of like different segments of it from depending on when I'm at the gym.
Dude, I hate that so much. Like when anything shows the same thing multiple times, except for obviously when I was a kid watching this,
It's
like it used to drive me
Freeform.
crazy.
Like
I don't know what that means.
remember it's used
It's
to be ABC Family.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
like it's nothing. Like that's the problem. It's like it's literally nothing. It's just a
Well,
channel
and
that shows old movies.
I know Freeform during like Halloween and Christmas, they show the Halloween and Christmas movies over and over and over
Yeah.
again.
They make
But
it its entire gimmick.
Yeah. Like I know TNT would show like when I would go to the gym, somebody would have TNT on and I would see Charmed or Supernatural on constantly, but that was episodes and not the same movie over and over again. I don't know. Oh well.
Yeah, Spider-Man's kind of become that movie. They do Spider-Man 2, they do Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. And then they don't show 3 for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Well. When we get to 3, you'll know why.
Exactly.
So
Oh, I
Ron,
know
what's
why.
your bingo?
The bingo. So obviously we got some dead parent going on here.
So I didn't count her as in the kill count because we didn't see her die.
Oh, she dies.
Yo, I know she dies, but we didn't see her die.
It's only one
that's
kill.
fair.
I didn't count it as a kill. That's what I'm
We
saying.
have Wilhelm
One kill.
Scream, hero kills, sexual innuendo, reformed bad guy, villain monologue, inability to control powers, and that was all I got because I actually wasn't paying enough attention to my bingo list while I was watching the movie.
That's fair. Honestly, toward like the last half, I was actually more watching
Yeah.
the movie than taking notes. So that's fair. Chuck, Spawn Cape Continuum.
Okay, this is where I'm about to shit on this movie.
Good, 'cause
Holy
there was
shit.
not some good effects.
None of it held up. Why
No,
are you
no.
beeping at me? When
The animal transformations. Like I thought when all of the army got
practical
transformed
effect,
into a pig.
practical effect looked good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's still special effects technically.
Yeah, but that is absolutely nuked from orbit from any time we had to deal with a brownie. That was so bad. That looked so out of place and so poorly
So
done.
what happened was they actually gave George Lucas himself the scissors to cut them out of the film and put them into the other film.
Yeah.
And he had to have big thick outlines to do it.
I can
Here's
see
the
that.
thing. Clash of the Titans,
Yeah, the original.
yeah, did it better. And that's saying something.
See, I'm
Because that
going to
was
definitely
atrocious.
strongly disagree with you on that one. When's the last time you
No.
looked at Clash
A
of the
lot of
Titans?
that
'Cause
was
it's
stop motion, wasn't it?
yeah, it was stop motion.
Yeah, but green screen, like the green screen.
Yeah,
effect,
and it was god awful green screen.
it was still
It's
better
also-
than this.
But it was also 60s stop motion green screen
It's still better than this.
versus 88.
Fair.
Gulliver's
should be
Travels
better.
did it better.
We actually had a little bit of that in this movie.
Yeah, I didn't. That was
Wait,
fine.
when did Gulliver's Travels come out?
That was like early 60s.
I mean, the book's been around for a long time, right?
There was a movie because my mom always referenced the movie like forever ago.
10
I mean,
movie.
1726
And there's a
is the novel.
93 movie.
There's a 2010 movie with Jack Black.
Yeah, that's not good. Don't watch that.
Did you say it's not good?
The story came out in 1726. Okay.
There's a 96 film
I really thought that there was
and a 1939 film.
39.
yeah,
was
the
a cartoon.
1939 film.
That was a cartoon.
Hey, Gulliver's Travels, the 2010 with Jack Black from Disney Plus.
Yeah, it was a Disney. You didn't know that?
I didn't know it was a Disney movie. 77. There was one 77.
There you go. That's the one my mom. Yep.
Because I think that's the one I'm thinking of.
I don't think I've ever seen that one. I saw the one that had the dude from 3 Men and a Lady and 3 Men and a Baby.
Richard Harris was Gulliver.
Ted Danson.
Yeah. Which that
That
came
was
out
one
in...
And I thought
that's the 96 one. Yeah.
it's not very good, so...
Anyway, the green screen effects were terrible. The special effects from the magic was fine. Like, it looked, you know what? It looked like a typical 80s budget. Like, it looked like it was the same effect that we saw in, like, He-Man. So it didn't really do anything for me. You know what I mean? Like,
that's fair.
It was fine.
Yeah.
Everything else, like, practical effects looked phenomenal. Even the, like the troll getting turned into like the sack, and then the sack getting kicked in, and then we got like the giant like Hydra troll. I thought that looked great. The costumes looked great. I thought the armor was cool that Maverick, whatever his name is, gets
he's ice
armored,
right? I don't know which one he was in Top Gun. I never watched
He's
Top
Goose.
Gun. Well, I did, but is he Goose? No,
No,
Goose?
no, he's not Goose.
He's Iceman. He's Iceman.
He's Iceman.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw that movie like once, and I wasn't even supposed to watch it because I was at a babysitter's house and she was watching it, but I was supposed to watch.
I saw it once when I was younger, and it did nothing for me. I've never seen the new one.
I keep forgetting they have a new one because people have talked about it. I'm like, that movie came out in the 80s, guys. They're like, no, like the Maverick movie. And I'm like, yeah, Maverick. He was the guy in Top Gun. And they're like, no, it came out like, last year, 2 years ago? I don't know. But
yeah, I heard it was really good.
But I'm just like,
I'm not going to see it. Just like I haven't seen any of the Avatars. I don't need to.
Or any of the Mission Impossibles.
I did like the Mission Impossibles. I've only seen like half of them though.
See, I watched the first one and it just didn't interest me at all.
Okay, that's fair.
But anyways,
get it.
First one I enjoyed. Second one I was like, "What the hell's going on?" I never saw the third one. Apparently, that's when they got good.
Yeah, that's Ghost Protocol was really good.
Hey, why don't you go watch One Piece? It starts getting really good after the episode 300.
So speaking of the One Piece live actions on Netflix now, go watch it. In the time people are listening, yeah, comes out this week.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
so
it's,
Chuck, your score
7 out of 10 capes.
7 out of 10 capes. Okay.
Sound like you gave it a 7 out of 10 for a score.
No, that was for...
no. That was 7 out of 10 capes because I
mean, that's really good. Actually, that's like one of the best scores we've had.
Yeah, I mean, it's all based on percentage.
Joey, where does that rank in our scores? Have you been keeping track of the Spawn Cape Continuums?
No, was I supposed to?
To be fair, the scale does change literally every show,
every single time.
Exactly, but you should be writing it down every single time, then putting it on a table, and then figuring out where they fall next to each other. I'm just fucking with you.
Next time, I still won't do that. Chuck, what is your score out of 10?
Okay. So, like, look, this is not a good movie. I want to say it was a fun movie. I wish I had enjoyed it more than I did. I wanted to enjoy it more than I did, and I ended up not enjoying it more than I did. But if we're basing it off my normal scale of, is this the movie thing that it's supposed to be? Is this a Willow movie? Yeah. It's a Willow movie because I don't know any other reference outside of Willow. Apparently, is it based off a book?
No, actually, this is they made a comic off of it.
They did. They also made 3 novels, and George Lucas.
Did they really?
They don't get too excited. apparently fans hated the novels
Oh.
because
Oh my
allegedly
god, the
characters were
fans
killed
hated
off.
something George Lucas actually made it within the
No,
extended
George
universe.
Lucas had no hand in the novels. He actually doesn't like disbars the novels in his opinion. But then we got the wonderful TV show.
Oh my god, the
that
show was
has
absolute
been erased
garbage.
from Disney Plus already. So
I wish it could be erased from
It's-
my memory. I was so
it's
excited for
somewhere
this
else.
show.
I don't know where it went.
I
Because
don't think it is. I think because it was
I think
It was a
on
Disney
I
Plus
think it's on
original.
Voodoo. I think it's on
It's on-
Voodoo. You
But
can
But it was
well, you can
so-
buy it on Voodoo.
Yeah. But it was so bad, and it had nothing to do other than character names with the original movie. It was a cash grab, is all it was, and it
Yeah,
pissed
I
me
mean,
off.
they were
This is
seeing.
my shock face. Looks just like my
Yeah.
normal face.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're just
I thought that was your horny
Dis-
face.
It's
well,
all the same.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They were it came out at a time where they were just going to greenlight any IP that they could get their hands on because everything was being successful at that moment.
I honestly
So-
also think like Disney Plus had just started or was in the beginning stages, and then like COVID hit, and it was one of those things like, well, hey, we're gonna need stuff here soon. So
It came out right when like War of the Ring came out, right? The
Rings of Power.
yeah, whatever it was called.
Yeah. It was shortly
believe so.
after Rings of Power.
Right. So I think they were trying to like get a
think it was,
snag
like-
off of that too. Because that's what this felt like. This
But
felt
the
like
Rings of Power
this
was
felt
decent.
like George Lucas's like Lord of the Rings. A band of
I mean, it kind of
little people
was.
and a ranger have
We
to
saw
go
them
save
running-
something from an
Yeah.
evil creature, an evil sorcerer, and they end up throwing a
But
baby
they
in a
didn't
river.
throw the baby in the volcano. So
No, they just threw
Oh
it in
no,
a river
there
for a while.
was a moment there where I was pretty sure that Mad Mardigan was going to eat the baby when he was in the cage.
I mean, that's actually fair.
I will say the chamber thing that the baby goes into looked like a creature from like Elden Ring. Like the thing that they put the baby in and it had like arms.
Oh, like
and it was,
the baby straight jacket they had it in or whatever.
yeah, like it reminded
Yeah,
me of
no.
like something from Elden Ring.
I'll agree with you on that. But then again, so did the fucking pot that came to attack Willow, the sconce or whatever.
Yeah. So like I appreciated that. Anyway, is this a Willow movie? Yeah, it's a Willow movie. Did I enjoy it? Not really. Did I want to enjoy it? Yes, I did. And the things that I liked, and the things I didn't like really hurt the score. I'm gonna give it a 5.2 because I like Ron. It's
That's
a
fair.
mediocre, okay movie.
All right, Joey, what's your score?
Nope, Ron, what's your score? Let's see if you can get through it without.
Yours first.
Hmm.
Do what?
I guess it's your birthday. I'll give it for you. All right. So I did enjoy this movie. I know I'm right there with Chuck in you hyped this up just a little bit too much over the years.
That's my
that
bad.
I've
I
known
forgot
you.
you guys hadn't watched it as kids.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. Had I watched it as kids, I probably would have liked it a lot better. But I didn't. That being said, though, it still was enjoyable. I was able to follow along what they were trying to do, even though there would definitely seem like they were skipping time a lot. Like when they captured Willow and Mad Mardigan and they walked across the world, it seemed like they had gone through different counties in their countries in like 5 minutes, which I know is normal travel, but the entire time, one of my biggest things was Rivali, Rizal, whatever the hell her name is, was like, all right, Willow, do the chant I taught you. When did you teach him the chant? All right, cool. Well, if you're going everywhere for as long as you were, he could have literally done the chant at any time, and you would not have been a bird. Or
Except for the fact that he sucked at magic.
sure, yes, that's the point. But he had,
And I don't think he
all
had the
this
wand
time
on
to
him because he had to wait
practice.
till he got the wand back, didn't he?
But he still could have practiced the chant, and he didn't do that. But
True.
that's also the point. The wand is just an extension. The magic is in you. You didn't get that lesson in this movie. So
Oh, he
Either
did
way,
eventually,
They did
sort
a
of,
really
kind of.
bad job of telling that.
that's what I'm saying. Like you don't understand that until the end. And even then, like it's not like it didn't come across that way.
Well, I mean, even
that
at the
being said-
beginning, the High Aldwin tells him, why did you hesitate? And he's like, well, I was going to pick my own finger. And he's like, yeah, that would have been the right answer because you have the magic. But Willow's a thick little guy. He's bad at everything, guys. He was a bad farmer. He was, a mediocre dad letting his kids play down by the river. I mean,
Which those
like,
kids at the
the
very
dude was
beginning,
trying his
I mean,
hardest. He just didn't have the skill.
He was sure. I will give credit to those two kids because they were acting their hearts out at the very beginning. They were terrible at it, but they were acting their hearts out. It was fine.
Hey, and he was even short for an Elwyn. So, I mean, come on.
Yeah, fair.
Everything was stacked against this guy.
Ching. So I gave this a 7. Like I said, I really enjoyed it.
Wow, that was being way too generous. This
I-
movie is not, unless you're Ron, is not worth this. Or my
No, because I'm
accounting
pretty sure
teacher, it's
Ron's
not
gonna be a
worth
lot
the
higher
7.
than me, but maybe not a lot higher, but he'll definitely be higher than me.
He's
that
gonna
being
put
said-
it. Wait, can I want to guess Ron's score?
I'm thinking like 8.5 or a 9. That's what I'm thinking he'll get.
I'm gonna say 9.2.
Okay. So Ron, let's hear your thoughts.
I absolutely love this movie. And even to me, all with the problems it has, this movie fills me with joy every time I watch it. I love it. I have the soundtrack. I play it on my phone because it makes me happy.
It's a fun
Like,
movie.
this is just
It really is.
this is just one of those things that, like, one of the reasons I was so pissed off at the show they made for Disney was because it had nothing for this, and it made me feel like a hollow shell while I watched it. Having said that, I gave it a 10.
Of course. You did.
Oh, you! Come on, I didn't even give Toxic Avenger a 10.
You gave it a 9.9999 something. Or
I did not. I gave it like
Hold
a
on,
9.4.
I have to go back and find it because I actually don't remember.
Toxic
where did we
Avenger, I
watch
think
that?
you gave
Give it like a 9.4.
it high. I know that much.
A 9.4 is high for me.
9.7. You give it a 9.7.
Okay, but that's not a 10. That's not a 10.
True.
damn
But
close.
you also didn't like it as much as I like this movie.
Not true. I was just because I knew, and you know why I got a 9.7? Because I
Also-
knew Jordan was going to nuke it from orbit. That's why
he
I-
did for the
Yeah.
one. Great times.
That's fair.
So,
Also, this was the last movie in my notebook, and now I'm gonna have to get a new notebook.
yeah,
So that kind of was awesome.
I still got like
Seems about
a
right.
shit ton for my notebook, but whatever.
I don't even take notes. Is
Yeah,
that
this
not
wasn't a
noticeable
fresh
in this?
notebook. When
Oh, yeah, this was a
you
fresh one.
don't take notes.
Yeah,
Yes, this
does
one
that
I'd
not
used for a
surprise
little bit
anybody
before
how
I-
I struggled through this movie, through these
Um,
movies, through the show.
Look, it's fine.
I'm the color guy. You know
You
what
still-
I mean? Like
you
you
still are-
you guys are the play by play, and I just give funny anecdotes.
Well,
That's
we've also been doing this for 71.
Yeah, I also don't care that much. If I
Yeah,
didn't take notes
there's
on my
that.
own show, why the hell am I going to take notes on yours? I mean, come on.
You literally told us that you had an entire thing listed out of what you were allowed to say.
That's
On
true.
what?
Your openings.
Oh, well, that
That's
was a
notes.
script. That's different. I had to have that. All
That's
I
notes.
had,
The script is notes.
and do you know, like the script was just copy and paste, and then I had the brackets. That was it. That was the only thing I ever had. Do you think I did any research on any of the stuff we talked about? No, and that was widely known by a lot of people. Trust me,
Wait,
I got
listen, you're telling me
destroyed
that
in a
you just made up
Discord.
all
Head
this
over to
stuff off-
patreon.com/professional casual as low as $1 to get access to our hot Discord where you can go back in time and see where I got shit on for getting factual information wrong that I received from Joey and just regurgitated it.
No, hold on. No, hold on.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Exactly what happened.
Anyway,
Go check out
I don't remember.
oh
which one
man,
that
what
was.
episode was that?
I
The
don't
most
remember.
shocking,
Moment in comics.
the most heartbreaking moment in comics.
Yeah.
The most heartbreaking moment in comics. Damn you, Joe Janero.
Anyway.
That's
That's
that
when I
was what
died.
started
That's
you
when you
being
killed
dead to
me.
me.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
fair. So we've got a combined score for this movie at 7.4.
Oh, ridiculous. It is
Which-
not a 7.4 good. This is
what
I
we
regret
got,
giving you a 5.2.
which puts this movie at number 13 overall at the moment. It is just behind
13
RoboCop.
on the 13th. That's
There we go.
fantastic.
But that's,
I
look,
now
that's
have
13
to.
for
I have to
now.
start ranking everything like marginally higher now, just to bump it down because it doesn't deserve to be a 13.
Well, I mean, I think we're gonna have some good ones coming up, but we'll get there. But no, it puts it just behind RoboCop at 7. Well, just behind Flash Gordon, Creepshow, and RoboCop. At
You guys watch
7.4.
RoboCop without me? Oh man, I love that movie.
Were you not here for
I
that?
am pretty sure that we asked you if you wanted to be on RoboCop, and you said you didn't have the time.
That might have been
You
true.
never asked me to be on RoboCop. That was
I
a
don't know,
long
I'm
time
pretty sure
ago.
it did.
It was a long
Long
time
ago.
ago.
No, that could have been that long ago. That would have been last year.
I didn't start doing this until
Last
halfway.
year.
No, I didn't start
RoboCop
doing
was-
it until the beginning of this semester, or the beginning of
You watched
spring semester.
Batman 89 with us, right? You watched Batman 89 with
89
us.
was when I came. Yeah, because you guys, I only came on originally to do the Batman.
RoboCop
That
was
it.
3 before that. But I remember specifically Joey saying something to you about RoboCop, or saying something to me about saying something to you about RoboCop.
No, and definitely.
Anyways.
I remember saying I love RoboCop, and I was disappointed in you two. Probably. I think that's what it was.
Well, we still have
Yeah,
RoboCop 2 and
just-
3, so.
It's just, yeah, we got those two as well. It's just above Doctor Strange, Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, and Hellboy Sword of Storms at 7.25. So it's
Nice.
Doctor Strange from 1978.
Yeah.
That one was a fun movie. That's one of our.
I thought
That
it was
was one of
pretty
our
good.
first ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
So you
still
don't
our
go.
top
You
15.
don't go in release date order, then, do we anymore?
We
No,
do.
We
But
are.
it's
but
okay.
they're
So we do
in
release dates for Marvel. We do release dates for DC.
No, I
and then
know,
we-
but I feel like a lot of the animated ones are like way.
We're in the
ahead.
2000s now for animated because there wasn't a lot in the 90s. A lot of animated movies for the 90s. And if there were, we
yeah,
covered them all.
okay, I guess you're right.
When did
Did you watch
Chuck
the
become a
Transformers
floating
movie?
head?
When it got
Yeah, we
dark
watched
here in New
Transformers.
York.
About 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, the sun has now set. It's 8:03 here in New York.
It's 8:03.
It's 8:03 here in Indiana.
Yeah, but you guys are in
It's
a
called-
basement and
it's called light.
True. Yes.
Listen, I'm not turning the light on. Okay, this is my new background.
No, I like you as a floating head. It's kind of hot.
Pretty fun.
Exactly. I actually have my really dope Batman Beyond T-shirt on.
Nice.
It's
That's
like a
kinda
vampire.
awesome.
He's like a vampire. It's dope.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I have a white shirt on that has a red stain because I spilled slushy on it.
I got Yzma as a cat.
Okay. All right, Joey, where can they find you?
You guys can find this show on Twitter at Comic Rundown, Instagram Comic Book Rundown, Threads Comic Book Rundown, email us comicrundown@gmail.com. Our song was done by Cam, formerly of One Half of the Sex Turtles, formerly of Wreck My Podcast. We have merch over in Redbubble and TeePublic, and rate and review us on your podcasting app of choice, and we'll read it on an upcoming episode. Randall?
You can find me good at this game on Instagram and on TikTok. And by this time, you should also be able to find me, as long as the name is open, at Good Art This Game on Instagram, because I'm going to make another one just for my art stuff.
Yeah, that's the trick, man. You just got to get those IPs. You know
Where
what
can
I
they
mean?
find you?
Grab every handle you can. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Kicked Out of the Hood, No Ian Kicked. You can find
What about
my
your love handles, big boy?
That was robotic, and I'm not really sure what it was. You can find my kitchen blog, or not kitchen blog, I guess kitchen account, Kicked Out of the Kitchen, No Ian Kicked, on Instagram. No, not Instagram, on TikTok specifically. And go over and follow that. I already can tell I'm going to have plenty of content for this coming semester, talking about my labs, because my kids, my students are already driving me nuts. So I'm sure I'll get plenty of content for that. Also, go follow my new job, Vesucre, Vesucre. We are a plant-based ice cream company. Delicious frozen treats. If you are in the New York area, anywhere between Albany and the city. You should be able to find it. Find a location. Check us out. I'm the new operations manager there. It's currently, as the time of release, I will probably have been working there for like a month. And it's the best job I ever had already. I can already tell. So it's super
Hell
rad.
yeah.
It's super great. And I super love it. So go support them so they can support me and I can get a paycheck. That'd be rad. Thank you.
Getting paid is always great.
It's nice.
All right, everybody. Our next movie that we will be covering to finish out October will be Hellboy Blood and Iron, or Hellboy Animated Blood and Iron. This is one of those that, similar to, what was it? What was the last one? Sword of Storms. It was animated, put on Cartoon Network first, and then made on DVD. So I think this one we'll have to rent, if I'm being honest. But well, worth it, because I remember enjoying both of these back when they came out. And I think, I mean, hell, Hellboy Sword of Storms is still in our top 20. So obviously we enjoyed it there too.
Okay, this looks rad as shit.
It's the cast from Hellboy. It's Ron Perlman.
That's what. It's the
Blair,
Ron Perlman, Selma
Jones.
Blair, Doug Jones. So looks like everybody's back.
Yep.
It looks like, when was this released?
07.
So it definitely has that like more sleek animated 07 like
I want to say
early.
it's similar to like the Gendy Tardeschi, the Samurai Jack,
No, it looks like X-Men Evolution.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it definitely has X-Men Evolution vibes.
I give it. I can see that.
Yep.
Very nice. Well, that's gonna be our next movie. So
I think
do I
I
need
have
to watch? Do I
that-
need to watch the other one to watch this one, or is this standalone?
I think it's standalone, but I mean, honestly, it wouldn't hurt to watch the other one either. The other one's good.
The plot in 1939,
Yeah.
shown in a series of reverse flashbacks. A series of flashbacks played in reverse chronological order. So it's Memento meets Hellboy.
Sure. I'll be honest. I don't remember this one as much as I remembered Sword of Storms. So I'm looking forward to it. I've seen it. I just don't remember it. So
You have my attention.
good,
sir.
All right.
And now you have his erection.
It is on Apple TV for $1. It is on Prime for $2. So already somewhat affordable. Great.
Perfect. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Don't go watch Gran Turismo because I'm tired of them promoting it and I hope it fails. Just because they just every time I open TikTok, that's the trailer.
Hasn't Gran Turismo been out for like 10 years or something? 20 years?
Different one.
Yeah.
This is the real racing. The guy that races.
That's Gran Torino. Gran Torino.
Oh, that's my bad.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was the same name.
No, Gran Turismo is a race. And
it's about the
the
dessert, right? It's like a cake or something, like Gran Tiramisu.
Yeah.